right now. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Aluwalia. Good morning to you, Pallavi.
A very good morning to you, too. And this week I get to talk to you twice.
Yes.
Yesterday we had a great show about you hosting me very well. I can't say I was great, but I have to say that you were for our H1Bs. And today we're here to answer all questions with Your Business Matters. And of course, anything particular that people want to ask me about either the memo or any other matter, I'll be happy to answer it.
Wonderful, and thank you once again for coming on air twice this week. As you said yesterday about the H1B cap season, that was very, very important and useful. People were calling me after the show ended also. So yes, you always do the needful, as I say.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I look forward to interacting again with our wonderful community, and let's start taking calls if you have the calls on the air.
Absolutely. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Go ahead and ask your question. You are live on the air.
Hi, Pallavi. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Very well.
Okay. So, Pallavi, my question is, my brother is a U.S. citizen. Can my brother sponsor a green card to my daughter?
Yeah, not directly, only through you. So there is not, it is the relationship between a nephew and an uncle is not one that's recognized on the family preference categories. So, but if he's sponsoring you, and eventually if this child ages out and you have the option to directly sponsor them, but there is not an uncle, niece, or nephew sponsorship.
Okay, so first suppose if my brother sponsors me, how long is going to take get the green card?
It is about a 14 to 15 year wait by current visa bulletin.
Okay. So what are the options to get a green card? Like we have some options like investing or something like that.
Yes, so investor, so if you're from India, the EB5 may be the only category to check out on. The EB5 program as we know it, with 500,000 investment or $1 million investment, sunsets on April 28th, and after that we get on to 1.3 million as minimum and 1.8 million. So there's only this very, very short time to even partake in the lower priced investment amounts.
Oh, okay. Thanks for your time. Thank you, Pallavi.
Of course. All the best.
Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi. You're live on air. Go ahead.
Yes, Pallavi, I have 2-3 questions. I hope you will answer all my questions. I am actually a doctor from Pakistan, and I am looking forward for USMLE, but it is a long process. So meanwhile, because I have applied for my F2 status, my husband is a F1 here, and I am preparing myself for USMLE, but meanwhile, if I want to work with any organization, is there any shortcut, like can I get a work permission? Because many companies are interested to hire me with my experience, but I don't have work permit, so that's why I cannot work.
Yeah, the only way that you can work is by going to the H1B if you qualify for that. If it's a non-profit institution of higher education and learning, it could be cap exempt. That's one way to look at it. On F2 directly, there is no option for a work permit. I don't advise a J1 visa, because a J1 visa does have it forces you to have a physical home country requirement, which means that if you use the J1 visa, which is given by a lot of hospital entities, then the J1 will force you to go back to Pakistan 2 years before you can change status.
Okay, and the other thing is, because my student, my F2 status is under process right now. If I want to invest something like to get E2 visa, am I allowed to do that during this time period?
Well, if it is something that you have an option for in terms of the E category, and you're investing in a business and you're opening up and getting in money from abroad, you could do so. A change of status could be applied from a pending F2 case, but you have to remember that the F2 has to be approved for the E2 to be approved. Or the other way it would be to get the E2 approved in itself for you to step out, either go stamping or go across the border and re-enter the country under the contiguous territory. So there are a few other options that you can consider if you want to go the E2 route.
Still, I'm not clear. Like my status, that F2 status is showing me online that nowadays it's doing August applications, and I have applied in December. So I hope that it will take about 3, 4, 5 months more to get me approved. But during this 5 months time period, am I allowed to apply for E2 status?
Yes, so there is, again, with all due respect, I mean, this will require an explanation as to how it has to be done. And I think you should definitely, whether you come to me or you go anywhere else, just to understand the way it can be done. It has to be properly done. It could be done, number one, like I said, either as a change of status between the F2 and the only condition in doing that even at this point is that F2 status also has to be approved, right? So it's like stacking up an application on top of the other one. That's one option. And the other option that I had just now explained was for you to get an E2 approved, but go across the border and either stamp it back at Pakistan or go across the border to a contiguous territory. Use your approval notice to just travel and re-enter the country on the E2. Those are the other two options. I would again caution you to just understand the entire thing so that you know what any attorney is talking about.
Okay. And last question is the Pakistani requirement is still same or it has been increased for E2?
No. There were never any investment amounts that were recommended for E2 as a given amount in the code. Immigration law does not require a certain amount. It should be we just look at case law and all, and then advise certain amounts. But it is not any amount that is either changed or increased because no amount was ever given. Okay, so when we are talking about an increase in the amount, we are talking about EB5.
Okay, but for E2 there is no particular requirement.
Not a certain amount, but we are close to about 70 to 100.
Thank you, Balvi. Thank you very much. I will definitely visit your office. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And for that private consultation, you do need to take an appointment. 972-361-0606 is the number. And aluwalialaw.com gives you all the information that you need on that website. And to all our callers here, I do want to request, I know your questions are really important and you need a lot of elaboration, but would really request to keep it concise and short so that we can give chance to the number of people who are trying to reach Pallavi right now. 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, good morning. I want to ask you, my U.S. citizen passport is expired and I renewed that passport 2 weeks before, but my visa is still good in 2018 for India. Still, I can go to India with both passports?
Correct. That's the way you would use it. Yes, you would have to use the old passport as well as new one, and that's the way to use it. That's correct. The visa would not expire.
Okay, then I can take both passports with me when I'm traveling to India. No problem, right?
Correct. You can.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your service, ma'am. I really appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, Pallavi. How are you?
Very well. How are you? How may I help?
I'm good. It's a quick question. My husband's green card is expiring in July, and we're planning to renewal for that. It's conditional permanent resident, actually. And does he have to be in Texas while applying for renewal for green card? Because he got the offer in Detroit, so he's planning to go there for a job.
Okay. Okay, so you're the U.S. citizen. If you so removal of so the removal of conditions just shows has to prove that you both are still in a bona fide relationship with each other. So whatever that takes, the job is moving in there, but he's still on your lease here. That's fine, as long as you're also on the lease there. So what the government has to understand is that you're both living together and that you're both together. Now, even if it is a little time that he's working outside of, your current residence, that should not make such a big impact. But as long as you have other documents proving that you both are together in a bona fide relationship.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, Pallavi. I have a question. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I want
Excuse me. Can I please request you to turn off the radio and then ask the question?
Hello.
Excuse me. Could you please turn off the radio and then ask your question? There's a feedback.
Okay. Yes. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I want to file marriage file or fiancé file to get my wife here in U.S. Will Donald Trump new memo will affect these files?
No, nothing I understand that is impacting that at all.
Okay, thank you.
It is not impacting. Okay, all the best.
Thank you for your call. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello, I have a quick question about H1 stamping. So how is now it going on H1 stamping for India?
What's going on? I'm sorry. What's your question, sir?
For stamping.
Correct. And the question is?
What do you recommend for the stamping? Is it will be safe to go India for stamping or?
Yeah. So there will be still the random 221Gs. The review on all immigration is going to be slightly tougher. As long as you have, and I always keep on using this word quite often, bona fide employment that can be proven by the consular officer who is reviewing your case, meaning if you are in an end-client relationship, then the end client can authenticate that your project exists. Your I-129 shows the location of your work as the one where you're currently placed at. Then stamping should not be an issue. Even if there is a 221G, it is something that can be overcome. If you have issues where you have been unemployed for a little while, or you don't have an end client that is supportive, and you are in that led relationship, then I would be careful, because yes, there is a little bit more review that is a little bit more strict. So I would just be careful about that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. There is any particular document also we have to carry? Because we don't have direct client. We are not working in IT. So there is no issue for like client and everything, because we are working with company and there is no IT job pharmacy job. So there is difference. So there is any
then your employment
carry?
Yeah. So you should have a copy of your entire H-1B petition. You should also have a letter of support from an employer which is recently dated. So even if you have an approval from last year but you're going stamping now, or if you have a recent approval, just have a current letter from the employer that's saying that he is going stamping, but they support you for that stamping and give you that current letter. That would be useful, along with recent pay stubs.
Okay, and how many month pay stub we have to carry?
Just 3 or 4 is fine. But the point is that do have a copy of your entire petition and your original approval notice.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for your call. You are listening to the legal segment, Your Business Matters, with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. To get in touch with her, you do need to take an appointment. 972-361-0606 is the number. ahluwalialaw.com is the website to go. All right, moving on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, Pallavi. I have a question. I am with L1A visa, and I recently applied for my extension, and it got approved till March 22nd. And currently, my family is in India, and they also got visa stamped yesterday, and want to check whether they can travel here And will there be any issues during immigration?
No. No, there should not be. So again, at CBP, you have to be aware that if CBP is asking for their cell phones or anything like that, and they should not have any derogatory information about the government, because unfortunately at this time everything like that is being reviewed. Okay, so and they do have an option to ask for the phone and to check the phone or to copy the phone or do things like that. Those are the reports that we are hearing from people that are going through the CPP. But other than that, they're on L2 status. They're coming in from India. There should not be any issues.
The visa will end in March 22nd. That is 20 days from now. So will that be an issue?
And they're coming in right before
coming
that.
As
will be an issue.
They're coming
now, do you have
L2.
a current approval notice?
Yes, I have the current approval notice, and my
That
GC is also filed. And so when they come here, I'm planning to file GC for them so that they can stay with me for the rest of the time. So,
so here's my quick question to you. Yeah, the L1 that you have, you don't have it extending past March 22nd, or you do?
March 22nd is the last date. I'll finish my 7-year stay.
All right. Okay. Yes, and in that case, it is possible for them to have that understanding as to how they are coming in, right? Because it's only at that point. Did they have the stamping even done earlier? So can someone trace the entire length of your 7 years already, or no?
Yeah, they can trace my 7-year stay overall. But my family is with me for about 3 to 4 years in the last 7 years, and they are currently in India, so they are planning to travel here so that I can file GC for them as soon as they come over here.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. So at this point, I mean, if an officer wants to be fussy, then they can. And it would be okay for them to say that they have an adjustment of status application that may be due to them, and or their extension options that are available. So they'll have to just kind of say it in that way. Now, the L1 and the L2 categories, as well as the H1B category, are dual intent visas, which means that this is not like when you're coming in on a visitor visa and you cannot apply for an adjustment of status, and the intent is different. Here, the intent is also given to immigrants. But again, we are hearing some reports about rogue officers, but I can't tell you not to have them come here and not apply for the adjustment of status. You have to try and get them in the country to do so.
So will it be risky, or is it safe to travel?
It is possible that they are asking. It should be okay to travel, but it is possible for CBP to ask them more questions.
Yeah, and if they ask questions, they can also say that they have adjustment of status. They are going to file it in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, I would also take together the I-140 approval note. Don't show it unless it's asked for the EB1C.
Okay, I am an EB1C, so I didn't got the I-140. I didn't got it was just filed this month for me, and it is yet to get the approvals.
All right. Yeah. I think it's so at this point, if you have the receipt notice of the I-140, then just give them that too, so that they can understand that they're not coming here. It's not that they're going to come here and go past their status and get illegal. Because that may be a concern. I would be concerned with this, but I would, again, I mean, if you have the corporate attorney, I would definitely talk to them and put together a good file that shows that they're planning on coming in and filing for their adjustment.
Okay, so as long as I can prove that I'm going to file GC for them, adjustment of status as soon as they come over here, that should be fine?
Yeah, have the attorney write a letter that explains this.
Okay, and one more thing, I also, since when I filed for my GC, I included, I filed I-824 for my family for consular processing, but in the last few weeks I got my petition approved, so I wanted to come over here, so that is also helps a lot.
Yeah, so if you have consular processing, then you can just wait for that, because as soon as so that the 24 has been approved, then they can also just process it at a consulate, and that won't take too long either. Right? It's a current category. It takes another 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I would do that.
So what is the average wait time right now, like for EB1C processing? How long it is taking?
So the I-140 itself takes about 7-8 months, right? And I mean, it's a current category. Till the category runs out on EB1 for India, it's going to be current. So as soon as the I-140 processing is done is when you get on to the government processing the other application. So from that time that I-140 gets adjudicated, the family would take another 4 or 5 months to be able to get the DS process through the NVC initiated and taken care of.
So I think my concern was that they have to stay for 1 year. So that's a thing I want to see if they can come in before my visa expires. So
yeah, so you'll have to just try it. You have to just try it and have the attorney and the company support their entry into the country by sending a letter in, as well as enclosing documents. So if they go through a second review at the CBP, they can provide that information.
okay, and will they be deported if in case if they found they should not be allowed? Or
no, I mean it should not be a deportation. It should not be a deportation, but yes, I mean if you're going into so much detail, I would just be worried about it, because this is not about a deportation at this point. Yes, they can be found inadmissible or sent back. That's not a deportation.
All right. Thank you so much for the call, because that's all the time we have. And as usual, thank you so much, Pallavi, for coming on air and, helping our listeners here, callers here.
Thank you so much, Meetu, for hosting me so well, and look forward to being here next week.
Perfect. Thank you.